everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are continuing our new series called New Tool Tuesday, and I am going to be unboxing the new BetterPress system from Spellbinders. I'm really excited about this. They actually did send me over the BetterPress system starter bundle. So this is their exclusive starter bundle. I'm going to be going over what that includes, and we're going to be trying all of this out for the very first time. So I know you've been really enjoying this unboxing series, and I honestly have been enjoying it so much as well because I just like to keep it fresh. I love to try new things. It just keeps me really motivated in my craft space to do some new things every now and then. So for this video, we'll do the BetterPress letterpress system. This looks so fun. Now, I do want to note that you are going to need a die cutting machine in order to use this system. So it does say right on the front which die cutting machines are compatible with the system. So you can use the Platinum 6, or a Big Shot. Any of those are compatible for this BetterPress system. So I do have the Platinum 6, so that is what I'm going to be using today. But let's go ahead and check out what is included in the starter bundle. So again, this is called the exclusive starter bundle, and I will link everything in the description box below. That way you know exactly what I'm using throughout this entire video. So first of all, we have the letterpress system, and on the back side of the box, we are given an idea for what is included within this whole kit. So we have the chase and magnetic insert with 3 shims. We have a platen. We have some exclusive BetterPress press plates. We also have a black mini ink pad, and their ink, from what I understand, is unique to this whole system. So this is the ink that you're going to want to use in order to do this whole process. Then we have the cotton card panels. They are in 3 different colors. We have porcelain, bisque, and pebble, and we'll go ahead and open all of those so we can see the differentiation between those 3. And then we also have the best ever craft tape. So again, I've never used this before. We're going to open it together. So I have no idea what I'm doing, but they actually seem to be making it pretty easy and self-explanatory right on the back side of the box. So it's indicating that it is 4 easy steps for professional results. So I'll be following this to the T, and I'm excited to see how this all turns out. Okay, so that is what is included in the little kit, if you will. Now, if you do the exclusive starter bundle, you'll also get some additional supplies. So in addition to the kit, you will also get 4 colored ink cubes. So there is a tawny brown, saffron, wild berry, and French blue. So that's really exciting because again, in your kit, you're going to have the black. So having some colored ink is really exciting. Okay, you're also going to get some additional card panels. And again, these are cotton card panels. That's really exciting. These are the A2 size. So they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and they are 118 pound, and you'll get 25 of them. Looks like this is a porcelain color. So I am excited to see which colors are which. I'm assuming the porcelain is more of their like true white color. So, and then you're also going to get a little re-inker. So that's exciting. I'm assuming it goes with this black one. Well, it says black. So it's going to be a little backup for re-inking your little mini ink pad here. Okay, this is what I'm super excited about because I saw this and I thought this was so awesome. So this is the press plate and die set. So the press plate is going to be what we use with the BetterPress system. And then we have a little coordinating die to cut out our design. So that is really exciting. All right, so that is what is included in the exclusive starter bundle. Again, thank you so much, Spellbinders, for sending this over. I'm really excited to play around with this, and let's go ahead and open this up and just start the whole process. We're going to make a card from start to finish. We're going to learn together, and I'm excited to see how this all plays out. All right, I'm going to set some of these to the side, and let's go ahead and open up the box. So open up the tab here. There we go. And inside, oh my goodness. Okay, so I see that we have the paper. Now I do want to go ahead and, well, I'll set this aside, but I do want to go ahead and open that up to see what those colors look like. And then, that looks to be it. Here is the rest of the contents. So we have that best ever craft tape. That's really exciting. And then we also have I've been wanting to use that and try it, so this is a great opportunity to give that a test run. And then we also have our little Mink ink pad in black. All right, then looks like we have to open up a different package. What's neat is that it really kind of resembles the look of the hot foil system, which is really neat as well. I love their hot foil system. If you want a video on how to use that, I'll link it down below in the description box so that you can go down another fun rabbit hole. Okay, so this is the little press plate. That's really fun. So more of a floral, very pretty. And then it looks like we have some operating instructions. We'll definitely need those and set those right up to the side. Okay, and we have, now what is this called? I need to get all of my terms correct. This is the chase and magnetic insert. Okay, so hopefully I am identifying that right. So I'm going to remove the little liner here. Okay, and I love that it has little indicator spots for lining up an A2 size card and then an A7 size card. I 100% of the time make A2 size cards, so that's really exciting to see. And then we have, these must be the 3 shims. Okay. So we'll have to learn what we do with the shims when we use them and how many we use. I'm interested to learn more about that. Okay, and then this must be the platen. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the inside. So let's start really quickly by, I want to see and open the paper because I want to see what colors we have to work with. Again, this is a unique paper for this whole system. It is a cotton paper, and I'm excited to give it a little feel as well. Oh, wow, that's really nice. Okay, so we have 3 different colors. We have porcelain. So yes, the porcelain is going to be the whitest. And in person, you can tell there's a difference between these two. This is porcelain. This is going to be their bisque. And then the final, it will be pebble. That pebble is really neat. I like that. It's really a nice soft gray. Very pretty. Okay, so then again, if you did the exclusive starter bundle, you are going to get 25 additional A2 panels in the porcelain. So you'll get it in this. So you can notice that bisque is just a little bit more on the cream side, and then we have more of a true white for the porcelain. Okay, so I know that I am going to use the, oops, I got a little something on there. I'm going to use the porcelain. So I'll set these others to the side, and I want to make sure that I differentiate this in my cardstock collection. That way I know that this goes with the little system. Okay, so I am going to actually use the other plates that came in the exclusive starter bundle. So I'm going to use these today. And let's go ahead and just get started and see how we do all of this. So, all right. Okay, so I think I've got it mixed around. This is the platen, okay, and then this is the chase. I think that this is the chase. Yes, that is right. So this is the chase, and then this is the platen, so excuse me, but hey, we're learning together. These are all fun and new terms. Okay, so this is just on page 1, or I guess page 2 it is, indicating all of the contents within the box, giving you a little bit more information about each one. So for the cardstock, it says it's cotton-based cardstock specifically tested to create ideal letterpress images. So indicating that you are going to want to use this special cardstock for this whole system. And then the BetterPress ink, again, I was telling you that is unique to the system as well. It is actually custom formulated. So again, you're going to want to use this when doing this process. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next page. This is how to BetterPress, and they're going to walk us right through it. The first thing they say is we're going to place the 3 shims on the base of the chase and then layer that magnetic insert over the shims. Okay, so I guess this comes out. Okay, just like that. And then, okay, so this is magnetic. Wow. Okay, That's neat. And then it does have those guides on this side as well. Okay, so then I am going to put 3 shims down in there. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place them right below. Okay, and then I'll place that magnetic plate right over there. Okay, done with that. Number 2 is place the card panel on the underside of the platen and then use the Best Ever craft tape to secure it in place. Okay, so we are just going to follow this to a T. So now there's magnets, in the 4 corners, and then also here. So we're gonna line those, ideally in the end, line those up just like that. Oh, that's really nice. And then see how easy that comes off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is turn this way, right? Yes. And I'll grab my panel. We're going to put that in the little guide there. Okay, and then use this Best Ever craft tape. So I need to find the little start of it. There we go. And it says we're going to secure it in place. So the pictures indicate that they're putting it on all 4 sides, so I will do the same. Looks like that is lined up. So I'll add tape right at the top. Bottom, okay, and left and right. Okay, so let's talk about the tape. This is new to me, but if we flip back to that first page, and I just really want to be thorough in all of these contents, but this is extra thin removable tape with no gummy residue. And we are again going to use that to tape the cards to the platen. Okay, so that is what is great about this tape. Okay, so we did that part, we're ready to go. The next step is we're going to open our BetterPress ink pad and we're going to ink up our BetterPress plate. So I guess what we need to do first and foremost is open up our BetterPress plate and get that placed right over on this magnetic part on the chase. Okay, I guess that was probably in step 1 and I got ahead of myself. Okay, so again, these are going to be the BetterPress plates. Oh, neat. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to take these off. And there's also, I might as well just do all of them. Should I just do all of them? Okay, one thing that's awesome about this, again, this is magnetic, but here we are again with this A2 guide. So that's going to allow us to really line this up ideally. Now I am in the end, I will use the coordinating dies. So if I don't get this perfect, I'm not going to stress about it because I am going to cut this out. However, if you are just going to BetterPress this right onto your panel and then just do a flat panel and do no additional cutting, then you're really going to want to pause and take your time here to make sure that you line that up just so. So in the effort to demonstrate that, that would be center. Okay, and then there's also some additional little pieces. So again, because I am, should I just do, I don't want to waste my paper, so I think I'm going to try to put all of it on one. Well, you know, I also want to have some practice with this, so let's do this first. That way we can practice, because I always feel when I do things repetitively the first time I'm doing something, it helps me get the hang of it quicker. So we'll do this part first, and then we'll come back and do the sentiments and little additional pieces in one moment. Okay, so now we're going to open the BetterPress ink pad and then lightly tap the raised ink pad across the BetterPress plate. And I am just reading right from the directions there. Okay, so there is our little ink pad. It says the ink pad is raised enough that a brayer isn't needed. Okay, so no additional supplies are needed. Okay, and it also wants to make note that you are to use and make sure that your ink pad is well inked. So if you find that you have an ink pad that's kind of losing its ink, then be sure to re-ink it before starting this process. Okay, so it's nice to have that as a backup because I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing this quite often. Okay, so now what we're going to do is ink it up. So here we go. And I'm going to ink it like I would a stamp, I suppose. Let's see, am I doing that right? I don't want to get too smushy. I'm kind of like lightly rotating it just a little bit. I feel like I got a little deep there, so I might just dab that off a little bit, only because I think I rotated a little too much there and it kind of bled. Okay, so just maybe a little tiny, and not, you know, a really aggressive rotation. Okay, I think that looks good. And now I'm just kind of going back over it to double check that I did do it. Okay, so now, I'm so nervous. I just don't know, first time. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is take the platen and place it in the little corner, they're called corner spring pins, and it says do not press down. So we're just gonna line those up and put it on, okay? Don't press down. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my Platinum 6. Again, this is a machine that is compatible with this system, and we're going to roll this through. So I'm gonna place it right onto my base here. Move this around so we can really watch it. Okay, so there we go. And then it says the machine rollers will evenly press down on the platen as the chase is run through the machine. Okay, so I guess I just roll it through. Is that right? Okay. It didn't seem like it had enough pressure, and then now I feel like it has some pressure. So I'm just kind of taking my time, making sure that each little area has enough area to, or time to press. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, oops. Okay, so when it did that, it went ahead and kind of smushed that down so that the BetterPress plate met that cotton paper. Okay, so now we're going to remove the platen and reveal our design. So let's see here. Oh my God, it's perfect. Okay, wow, that is gorgeous. You know, I was nervous because I felt like when I was running it through my machine that there wasn't a ton of pressure. So I was worried that it wasn't going to do a good impression, but it did flawlessly. Isn't that pretty? And there was no like bleeding of the ink either. I was kind of wondering if I was getting too much ink on there. That's gorgeous. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side and let's go ahead and do it once more because I want to try just to repeat it and give myself a little practice, but I also want to give us that sentiment and some additional little embellishments. Okay, so I'm going to carefully remove my paper by just removing this craft tape, and I am just going to set this to the side and reuse it because it seems to be perfectly fine. Stretch my craft supplies a little bit. Now, I also want to note that you're going to want to do this once. You're not going to want to re-ink up if for some reason, you know, you didn't get an ideal impression. You're not going to want to re-ink this up and then place it back and run it through, because as much as you think that it's going to line up, I think there's a little bit, and I think Yana, when she did her video, she was saying that, you know, believe it or not, this isn't going to line up perfectly. So you will kind of have a ghosting. So that is worth noting because you're not guaranteed that's going to line up perfectly, even though, you know, you have 4 corners that are magnetic, it can be slightly off. So you'll want to just one and done it, take your time, and you should be good. Okay, so there we go. Very cool. I'm going to repeat this. And again, I'm going to grab the same color in that porcelain and place it right in here. Okay. This is exciting. I love how flawless that turned out. It's so pretty. Okay, so now, and I also want to take a closer look too, because it should be pressing that ink into the paper. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so you can actually feel that, and in person you really can see the press. Really, I'm obsessed. That's really neat. Also, I was looking on their website. I have been doing their clear stamp and die of the month with them this year, where I have been unboxing their monthly stamp of the month. It's one of their clubs. Well, just so you know, they now have a club for the BetterPress plates. So if you are excited about this and you want to start building up your collection, you actually can join a monthly club where you get, you know, a little surprise new plate every month. So that's exciting as well. Okay, so I did end up buying this on my own because I was told that this is going to be what you want to use to clean up. So actually I've never used this before, so I don't even know what I'm doing here. Okay, so gently press the dabber against the stamp, or in this case, our press plate, to release liquid. Allow liquid to sit on the stamp for up to a minute and then rub it off with a paper towel. Okay, so I'm just going to, oh, okay, there we go. Oh, very nice. So I'm just going to get that all cleaned off. Oh, you can kind of tell that it's helping to release some of that ink. Do you see that? Look, this is before and that's after. Very cool. Okay. So I'm going to let that kind of sit. Just want to clean this while I'm at it. I hope that I can do this on this system. I wonder if I should have taken this off. So maybe take yours off, because I'm not quite sure, you know, if this should be on the chase. Okay, so now, or that magnetic plate. So I'm gonna let that sit for a second and then I guess just wipe it off. Oh wow, okay. That did really well. Okay, I don't think I let it set on some of these long enough, so I'm gonna let that kind of redo there and be patient with it this time. Got excited to wipe it away. Okay, so I'll let that sit for a minute and then I'll clean that off. And the plate is nice and clean. Okay, super pretty. Now, oh, you know what I think I'll do? Let's do some colors. Now, I do want to use a black for my card, but let's test some of the colors out. And how we can do that is we'll stamp those little florals. Let me see if I can get this up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, and that stamp cleaner, it smells really good. That's kind of citrusy. I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to grab these additional florals. And what I'll do is I'll place them up here and we'll focus on, you know, doing or conserving paper in this respect on this time through, because now we're kind of just practicing and testing colors. Although I do want to be mindful to give myself enough room because I'm going to be using different inks. So we don't want to be too close together. Okay, so now I wonder how much time we have before the ink kind of dries. So hopefully we can go kind of fast. I want to test out the Wildberry and, oh gosh, I want to test them all out. They're neat. Maybe the French Blue, be kind of pretty. So let's test those two out. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to do black. So again, ooh, it's so kind of delicate that it's kind of moving on the plate. Okay, and I got a tiny bit of black on this one, so I'm going to try to dab that off if I can. If not, we'll note that I did do that and it wasn't anything other than user error. Okay, one of them I'll do the Wildberry Ooh, that's pretty. So far, at least. Okay. And the other, I will do this French blue. Okay. Ooh, that looks, I'm wondering if that's going to be kind of like a powder blue. Okay, so hopefully gosh, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's so light, this color, that I want to make sure that I did ink it up appropriately. Okay, so then place this over, line it up, magnets, attach it into place, grab Platinum 6, and again, I'm just going to slowly run it through. And that's where the pressure starts, which makes sense because that's where the location of my plates are. And then the pressure releases because then I just have paper. So there's nothing pressing on the rest of that panel. Okay. All right, now we can reveal. Oh, neat. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I must have nudged that. Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? It was up there pretty far. So that one got a little far, but those colors are really pretty, aren't they? Really pretty. Okay, so you know what I'll do is let's test out the other two colors down here just for fun, because why not? So we're gonna do saffron and tawny brown. And first I'm gonna clean off these little metal plates or press plates. I want to give that some time to dry too, because I'm going to re-ink that up. Go. Okay, those clean nice. And then I'm just going to make sure these are really, really dry, only because I'm reusing them immediately. So I'll place one down here. That way I'm not wasting too much of that paper. Because honestly, you could just send a little half sheet through if you wanted to just to put a tiny sentiment on there. So you could have little scraps of this cotton cardstock or cotton paper and just use it for those littler pieces. Okay, I'm hoping this is okay. So I'm just using that to clean off my little metal insert thing. Okay. Okay, so far I think that's fine, but you might want to do some additional research if you can put the cleaning stuff on that. All right, so now let's see, that should line up just fine. I might bring it down just a hair, only because I do want to cut that out. Okay, let's do the tawny brown, and let's also do the saffron. I'm really interested in the saffron. Now that's going to turn out. Okay. Taking this, placing it on, again, not pressing down. Okay, and then let's grab my Platinum 6. Roll it through, no pressure, no pressure. Then you start feeling pressure. I'm gonna take my time there. Okay, there we go. All right, and revealing the next two colors. Ooh, pretty. I love that. It's very much like a mustard color. And the brown is really pretty as well. I think I did ink up a little too much down here where you can see it just being a tad bolder, but I love those colors. Okay, so let's see, there are the examples of each of the colors. So again, wild berry, French blue, saffron, and tawny. That's what those would look like. Very pretty. All right, let's get creating. I'm gonna clean this off really quickly. We are now done with the BetterPress part, and honestly, that was so easy. So easy. Very beginner friendly and flawless results. I'm intrigued by that because I felt like the glimmer, I love the glimmer machine, but I feel like sometimes I'm not consistent with getting amazing results with it, and I need to practice a little bit, but these were all really, really well done, aside from me just kind of needing to figure out a little bit of technique with how I put the ink on the actual plate. Aside from that, everything else, I mean, it pressed perfectly, so that's really exciting. All right, I'll clean this off and let's move on. Okay, I'm just going to see if there's any additional information that we should be aware of. Okay, something it does say is that you can clean the BetterPress plates with the Ranger Archival Ink Cleaner, and make sure that the press plate is clean and dry before re-inking to use again, which we did. It says, note, the Chase magnetic insert will get ink on it, which we saw that the background got ink on it, but it can also be cleaned with the archival ink cleaner. Okay, so the fact that I was cleaning that on the actual magnetic Chase, that was fine. That's great. Okay, I was a little worried about that. It says, over time, the magnetic insert may stain, but dry ink will not transfer onto the card panels. Okay, so if you do see some staining as you continue using this, it's okay. It's not going to transfer onto your future projects. Okay, so if you are going to use a heavier weight cardstock or mat board, you do want to remove shims. And one thing I am super excited about is it says you can also do all of this technique without ink. So if you just wanted to do what they call a blind press, I think they said, a blind letterpress, you're going to just place your plates in and run it through. So skip the inking and you can do a blind press. That would be super fun, because then you could do some fun ink blending techniques on top of that. Oh, it'd be kind of like a resist. Okay, I'm really liking that idea. Very cool. Okay, we're definitely gonna have to play around with this some more in some future videos, because that is really intriguing to me. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to creating. So now I want to take my coordinating dies and I'm going to cut out the happy, and I'm also going to cut out, oh, come on, there we go, the birthday. Very cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and place these on our little panels. I'll go ahead and use that best ever tape to secure my dies. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I will take my washi tape out, just because it drives me crazy to try to replace this and grab it each time. So I'll just place this in my tape dispenser. That'll make me much happier. Okay. Let's run that through, then I will run this through as well. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. I always want to avoid, I don't think it would be a big deal, but I try to avoid my ink areas. I try to tape on the outside for a couple reasons, just so it doesn't disturb the design, but also because I don't want to accidentally, for some reason, rip it up when I'm bringing my tape up, just in case. Okay, so we'll bring the Platinum 6 back in, this time bringing my little cutting plates in. Okay, and let's go ahead and cut these out. I should have, I'll just place them back in there. I should have colored those before I popped them all out for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, no problem. Okay, and then we have our little birthday. Now, what I will do is I'm going to take off my little die here, grab a paper trimmer, because I want to make sure I save as much of this specialty paper as I can. Okay, and I'll just place this in my little cardstock area that has the cotton paper, and we'll be good to go. I kind of felt like that did rip the paper though a little bit, so I might need to be just a little bit gentler with bringing that tape up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm going to turn this over. I know this is silly. I'm going to place these pieces right back in. That way I can color. I should have thought that through. So I'm just going to puzzle piece these back into place, just like so. And I will add a little bit of tape just to secure those in place. Okay. We'll do something like that for those three and that for these two. Okay. All right. In fact, I'm going to let this go freestanding. Okay, so if I'm a little carefuler, I have a little bit better results. Still kind of tearing just a little bit though. That was better that time. So maybe I just need to go a tad slower, be more intentional. Okay, I think I'm going to bring in some colored pencils and really have fun coloring this. Now, I need to research a little bit more, but I don't think you can use alcohol markers with this ink. Does it actually say what you can do? It says waterproof, but I don't think you can use alcohol markers. Given the teeny tiny area that I am working with, I am going to opt to do some color pencils. So let me go ahead and open those up and we can get to coloring. Okay, I did pick some colors, and what I'm going to do, let's see, what I decided on was cloud blue. I also decided on grayed lavender. The next is a blush pink, lemon yellow, and finally I have chartreuse. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use those. I was just kind of testing colors over here. This piece is for later. And let's go ahead. I'm going to just put on some music, allow you to relax, and I'm going to get all of this colored. Okay, that was really, really relaxing to do. I will also hold this up. I did end up grabbing, isn't that pretty? I'm loving that color combination. It's just so, so soft. I did end up coloring and selecting a different leaf color to bring in just a little bit more variety with the greenery. And so my first one that I was telling you was chartreuse, and then this one is lime peel. So that color combination duo I felt really worked well. They're very similar, but in person different enough to where it gave it just a little bit of something. Okay, I'm gonna clean up here and then let's build this card. This has been so fun. I'm really enjoying myself. Okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I have some 100 and I kind of think this is 130 pound cardstock, and I want to bump up my letters. This might be 110 pound cardstock. It was just in my scraps, but I want to have some dimension there, so I'm simply going to run these through a couple times and create just some additional cutouts of the word happy. Okay, and then also because I do want my letters to all be aligned just as perfectly as they are in the die cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this as a template. I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller though, and I'm really doing no rhyme or reason here with the shape because I want it to be kind of small so I can center it on my panel in just a moment. So here we go here. Now what I want to do is grab a piece of 80-pound cardstock. This is going to be my panel, and this is at A2 size, so I have 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I will further trim this down, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, I have enough. I think I have enough room. Maybe to, let's see, 4 by 5 1/4. So I just took 1/4 of an inch off each side, which is going to equal 1/8 of an inch around in terms of a margin. Now I'm going to center this the best that I can on here, and I think that looks good. And I'm just going to use this as my template so that I can line up these letters very nicely. So I think, gosh, I think that looks good. Just going to, let me see, top and bottom though. Top and bottom needs a little help. Let's bring that up a little bit. Okay, side to side I think looks fine. Okay, I think we should be good there. So I'm going to tape that template down. And now I need to just get these. I need to be gentle. I'm practicing with this tape here. Gently remove these. I liked the idea of also coloring with them in place. Now I want this to be on this side, on the left, because I was able to kind of distribute my color evenly when I knew exactly where the colors were going to be and the letters were going to be in relation to one another. So highly recommend that. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I think what I want to do is actually just place one layer in really quickly. Is that what I want to do? No, I'll just do it all at once. Okay, let me glue these all together. I'm going to grab some liquid glue. I'm going to do the Barely Art glue. Really like this glue. And I'm going to glue all of my die cuts together and just pop them up. So, keeping my P's where I want them on the card though. So I know this is my left P. So each one will be 2 additional layers. Look how nice and thick that is. It's going to just be some nice subtle dimension to pop that up off the card. So pretty. Okay, so that P goes there. I'll just continue with those really quickly. Okay, so I'm finishing up and doing the last of my letter stacks. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer, or not layer, I'm going to place these like a puzzle piece right in their spots and then remove this template. That way it's all where it needs to be. And I don't have to play measuring or alignment games with myself because it's just too much. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the glue right here. Being careful with something like this not to get near the edge because I don't want the glue to attach the letter to my template because it makes it so much harder to get the template off. Okay, H, A, there we go. And for me it's just easier to put the glue within the little template here. There we go. Okay. The colors on this are just so pretty to me. Love this. And you know, when it first came out of the press, I was so stunned with it just in black and white. I mean, quite honestly, that's so pretty. And if you put it on like a colored cardstock base, I think that would be gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna be gentle because again, I feel like I need a little practice with this tape. Okay, and I'm going to remove this very gently, just like that. And then my letters will just stay in their spot. Okay, there we go. Oh, and I actually think that the alignment there, or that I positioned that pretty well. So there is what that looks like. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm gonna put this on a card base. We're going to add the additional birthday. Oh, this is gonna be fun. And maybe add a couple little pops of shine, and we're done with this. For my card base, I will opt for 110-pound cardstock, and this is sized at 11 by 4 1/4. And because I want to do a top folding card, I'm going to place my score line at 5 1/2, and then just press that down to complete that little fold. Okay, now I think I will put a little foam tape on the back of my panel. That way I can bump it up on my card base. But let me secure this to my craft mat so that I can work really nicely here. Grabbing some non-stick scissors, and I think I'll put 3 strips on the back of this. Pop it up, and it should be good to go. All right, here we are, and center that just like so. All right, and then I am gonna play around with this. I was kind of thinking something like that would be really pretty, kind of like that. So what I'll do is I will grab some tinier foam squares, and I know I'll want one probably at this I and R, if I can figure that out. Let's see here. Yep, there. And then also a couple at the end, just to really bump that up a bit so that those pieces aren't just dangling and hanging there, but they're going to come into contact with that card panel. Oh, that's pretty. All right, I'm going to grab some tweezers though, because I need to make sure that I have a little bit more line of sight there so that I can line that up. Okay, so if I do, come on, if I do that, then, okay, I like that. All right, a couple little shiny things because I think I want to do something here, and then I'm done. Okay, I'm actually just going to place 4 right on there. I'm breaking rules of odd numbers, but for my eye it's working better. Every time I put a 5th one on there, it's just too crowded. So I'm going to sneak some of those sequins beneath the little birthday, and then I really like that. It's just enough, but I also like the simplicity of stopping there. All right, there is the final card. I am very impressed with the BetterPress system. I think it's absolutely worth it. I think it's a very, very fun system to have in your craft space. I'm excited to see what additional press plates they release. I think this is super fun and a really fun look. In person, you are just gonna be in awe over that pressed look of the ink in the paper. It's so fun. And I think that it's worth mentioning that it is very user-friendly. I had no idea what I was doing opening this box, and it was just really easy right after I took a quick peek at the directions, and everything just worked out beautifully. So very impressed, highly recommend. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed the final card and the whole process. I hope it inspired you in some way. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give this a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I can't wait for our next New Tool Tuesday. This has been so fun, and I can't wait to continue crafting with you in the next video. See you soon.